All right, rock and roll. Welcome one, welcome all. We are at the Scorched Earth Political Podcast. I'm your host, John. How you doing today? A couple days after Easter. Honestly, I think I'm the only person in America who didn't realize Easter was 420. Look into me, right? We welcome all here, friend and foe, sinner and saint, and we're off and running in a second here. I do want to relate a real little quick Easter story that I had. I'm lucky enough. I'm the luckiest guy in the world. I still got both my parents, and I usually look in on them every day. They're in their 80s. It's a little more difficult for them. It's a little more challenging, and I have this agreement that I will always do the dishes there. My mom, she cooks for her and my dad, and I go in there once a day. I'm usually there for 2 or 3 hours. I do all the dishes. I take out trash, just nothing big, but whatever. Well, I think my mom is kind of gaming me on this, and I don't know. Maybe you guys can all have a thought on this. And if you could, hit that like and subscribe button. Also, hit the notifications. Super producer Stacy, she always reminds me of that. So, I was over there on Saturday. Easter is Sunday, and my mom says, "What do you want for Easter?" I go, "How about just ham and salad, And she says, "Oh, okay, that'd be nice." And then about a half hour later, she goes, "Really, we need a vegetable." And I said, "Oh, okay, let's have a vegetable. You want to get a vegetable? That's fine, whatever." And so then we're watching a little more golf, and about 40 minutes later, she says, maybe I'm just going to make some deviled eggs and some pickles. And I said, "Okay, sounds great. Fantastic." Then about 30 minutes later, she comes back around and she goes, "I'm going to make some fresh baked rolls." I said, "Mom, I really don't want that much." "Oh, don't worry about it. It won't be that much at all." I said, "Okay, sounds good, right?" Then she comes up and says, "It's just not a meal if you don't got yams." I didn't know that was a thing, but okay, let's do that. Then she says about an hour later, right before I'm walking out the door, she goes, "Yeah, I might make some Spanish rice." I'm like, "Oh my God," right? Okay, whatever, Mom, whatever. So I come back on Sunday, Easter, hallelujah. I hope everybody out there had a really good Easter. And there is more dishes on this table than the buffet at the Wynn, right? I mean, there's like 12 different dishes. And I'm like, where did this go? And, you could tell I'm not exactly, a shrinking violet or svelte on any level. I mean, and I look at this food and I swear to God, by the end of this meal, I'm going to be rumbling with Jelly Roll, right? Hey, you think I wasn't hip? I know what's going down. I know what's going down. I'm going to be like the fat guy in Dune, except I ain't floating around. And I was like, "Mom, I was just hoping." She goes, "Oh, just take a scoop here and there." I'm like, "Oh my God," right? So the meal is done, and her and my dad sashay out to go watch some golf. Now, literally, it looks like the USS Kennedy, all the dishes there. I'm like, wow. I'm being sincere here. I wanted to take everything into the kitchen, disconnect the stove, blow up that part of the house, and we'll just start with a new set of flatware and cutlery. Okay? Don't worry, I'm a carpenter. I got a really bitchin' toolbox. I can rebuild this thing easier than I could clean all these dishes. There was so many dishes, I had to do 2 runs in the dishwasher. Let me tell you something out there. All those people who take women for granted and go, "Oh, they cook, whatever. It's not that big of a deal." You know what? Women are just amazing, right? Let me tell you what the real knife is after you get done and you've had this great meal, is the cleanup. I don't know. Like me, I got a Costco frozen pizza. That's my idea of fine dining and me really cooking, me breaking it up. I got a great friend, Bill. This guy, I talk to him every day. He is just the coolest guy ever. This guy It's like Bobby Flay, right? I go, hey, what are you having tonight? He goes, oh, I'm going to have an Angus burger, and I'm going to have some portobello mushrooms, and I'm going to have some Swiss cheese, or I can't even remember the cheese. It's not even just Swiss cheese. It's like smokewood cheese that he does on his own in the backyard. I'm like, wow, man, is this cat real? Is this cat real? Like, do I know this dude? Like me, I have a hard time going through the drive-thru at Wendy's and getting an order right. Like, oh, wow, what am I going to get? Oh, I guess fries. Guess I'm going to get the single. Okay, whatever. Sam Hill. And there's all these people. But, you know, I'm cleaning, and my mom, she says, hey, don't worry, when you get done, we got dessert. I said, oh, I can't wait. It's going to be fantastic, right? Let me just get bigger than the Goodyear blimp. It's cool, man. You know, you tell them a million times, oh, don't worry, you can start the diet tomorrow. Oh, my God. Wish I had $1 for every day that happened. I'd have more money than effing Jeff Bezos, right? So I get done with all this. I head out there. She goes, I got apple pie. I have not liked apple pie one day in my life. I have been around this lady my whole life. Now, when she gets this wrong, there's certain foods. She tells me I like Chinese food. She tells me I like apple pie. I don't like any of it. I don't like sushi. Don't. Okay? I think I am the only person in California who does not like sushi. Yeah. Anti-sushi. Give me that hashtag. That's me, okay? Army of one. So she starts trying to convince me that I like apple pie. She goes, you used to like it when you were a kid. What happened? I've gotten to the point where I say, oh, Mom, it just doesn't go good with my GI issues. Learn that one from a good friend. Duh. Just throw that GI issue out there. Yeah, it's good. That gets you out of everything. I can't, like I told you yesterday, I can't handle hot food. I can't handle authentic Mexican food. GI issue. Hey, can't handle the apple pie or Chinese food or sushi. It's a GI issue. Yeah, right. You can tell I got a lot of GI issues. Yeah. Right. What? So, you know, she keeps digging down. This lady, man, she's great. She don't give up nothing. She's like a dog with a bone, man. She's like, wow. She's trying to convince me for like 10 minutes that I like apple pie. I'm like, I don't like it. My dad, God bless him, he's sitting there. He is like that cheetah that sees the wounded gazelle on the Serengeti. He's just waiting for food. Man, that food gets on his little TV tray, man, it's gone. It literally has a lifespan of like 13 seconds. Boom, it's gone. I don't even know how a human can. There was literally one time I almost lost a finger, you know? Left it out there a little too much when I put a plate on his thing. Like, oh, geez. Glad you're not hungry, Dad. Never hungry. Good luck. No leftovers for him. So that was my little story. I don't know if anybody out there has somebody who tries to convince you of something you like that you really don't. I don't understand what the deal is on that, you know? But hey, everybody go. All right. We're off and running. Taking no prisoners, telling no lies. I will say this, that I watched 60 Minutes on Sunday night, and something amazing came up, and I really am fascinated by the whole AI thing. I've been looking at it for years. And honestly, when you tell people about AI, they don't really care. They really don't. Yeah, it's fascinating, you know, whatever. It's kind of like back in the 90s when you told people what computers were going to be, and people were like, yeah, whatever. You know, I still got to do my paperwork, you know, blah, blah, blah. But I have seen literally hundreds of hours of stuff on AI. I am totally fascinated. Literally, this is coming from the guy who can't turn on a cell phone, right? But I saw something that I thought was earth-shattering. They did an interview with the gentleman who is leading the Google AI team. He's one of the smartest guys in the world, you know, just a genius on a genius. And he talks about how AI can reason and think at another level. Okay, we've all heard those stories, please. Yeah, I can literally hear everybody clicking off the podcast, but wait for it. It's really coming. So Bill Whitaker, the guy for 60 Minutes, he's on there and he starts talking and interacting with the AI, right? And he's like, do this, do that, do this. And I saw something I never thought I'd see. He and this is something really in my back pocket, is when I talk to super producer Stacy, I ask the same stupid redundant questions literally a million times. It takes me a million times for it to finally sink in. I am not joking what I am going to tell you here. AI got annoyed. Bill asked her, him, whatever, the same question like 3 times. And AI was like, you could hear in the voice of AI, there was some attitude. I was like, oh, we're in trouble. AI got an attitude. I mean, hello? Oh my God. There was some serious attitude. Man, that attitude on that AI was straight out of South Central LA. I mean, there was some serious effing attitude. I was like, oh man, we're all done. We're all in trouble. Christ's sakes, right? All right. We're off and running. Taking no prisoners, telling no lies. This is for April 22nd, 2025. I hope you have a good Taco Tuesday. Let's get off and running. Let's talk about the a-hole of the day. Josh Shapiro on the Passover. He is the Jewish governor of the great state of Pennsylvania. Him and his family were in the governor's mansion, and some a-hole tried to burn them all to the ground. Literally set them on fire, wanted to burn him and his family to death inside the mansion. Okay? Well, seems like we got some Republicans that really, really bothers. Let's talk about Dan Musser, and let's see what he has to say. Hold on a second. You know what? Give me a second. Just give me a second there, little Phillies.
Look, this has been going on from the left to the right. This instance, this guy was a psycho, of course, and our hearts go out to the Shapiro family on this. But,
there's the but. Okay? Let's get that out of the way. Now we're at the but.
They got to tone it down, too. I mean, every action Josh Shapiro has taken so far against the president has either been a lawsuit or a falsehood.
Okay. So that exactly is the same thing. I mean, hello? Josh Shapiro, somebody tried to burn Josh Shapiro and his family inside the governor's mansion. And this gentleman says because he launched a couple lawsuits, he said some derogatory things against Trump. Hey, he's got to tone that down. That's why you get it. It's like people telling me, and I don't support it, the vandalism against Tesla owners, the vandalism against the dealerships. Actually, I'm a little more in line with the dealership thing. I do not want to go after somebody's car, okay? They're innocent victims. Tesla dealerships, I'm kind of on the line there. You're not here because you want to hear somebody give you a BS answer. Oh, I get it. I get why people want to vandalize the Tesla dealership. Hey, it happens every day, okay? Stuff like that. Hey, it's part of being in business. Believe me. You ever been to a bathroom in a Target? Believe me, you get vandalized. You get vandalized 20 times a day, okay? And what people tell me, and I've had this 20 times, they try to equate the vandalism of Tesla, that is as bad as what they did on January 6th. Hello? Let's just hold the wagon right there. Hold the wagon. And I'm like, vandalizing a Tesla or a dealership is not the damn same thing as what happened on January 6th. 170 officers got hurt, were hospitalized, needed medical treatment. Don't give me that BS, right? It's like me saying, hey, I took 2 screws from Home Depot. I'm the same as Bernie Madoff. F you and F you. Let's get a double F you out there, okay? I haven't got to that 10-minute mark, okay? Hello? Well, actually, I'm at 14, but, hey, you guys know what I'm saying. This damn Heuser, and I heard that whole interview. I had to listen to 8 minutes of it so I could give you 14 seconds. I wanted to vomit. The host was egging him on. Oh, yeah, That's what we need to do. We need to put those Democrats in check, those libertards. I'm like, oh my God. Jesus H. Christ. How did we get to this point? Yeah, same thing, right? Josh Shapiro launching a couple lawsuits. Let's just burn him and his family together. You know? Hey, don't worry about it. It's like Trump saying a couple weeks ago, there were some good Nazis. There were some Nazis who were good to the Jews in the camps. What effing world was that in? Hello? Yeah, Trump said it. Yeah, right? All right, let's talk about our favorite cosplay girl, Kristi Noem. Seems like she was in a Washington, D.C. restaurant on Sunday night. Got her purse stolen. Had $3,000 in it, her passport, her Homeland Security ID. Now, she had a couple, Secret Service people with her, but somehow they appropriated the purse, whatever. My question is, what the hell is she doing with $3,000 in her purse? I don't know if you've seen recent pictures of her, but the facelift didn't go that well. I don't know. For some reason, and believe me, okay, you know me, the Brad Pitt lookalike, I am obviously a fashion icon. I literally, look at these t-shirts. It's amazing. I know you're saying to yourself, John, you have so much fashion sense. I know I do. You think I just came with this t-shirt off the fashion runways of Milan or Paris? No, I didn't. This is just instinctive, right? I figured it out when I was doing the dishes at my mom's house. Christ's sake, right? I had plenty of time to think about what I'm going to wear. But I've seen Kristi Noem, and she doesn't have eyebrows. Like, I'm going to have to try and get a picture up on this tomorrow. I don't know if the facelift and all the cosmetic surgery she got, maybe the $3,000 is to get eyelashes and eyebrows in San Salvador when she goes down for her little photo shoots. Next time, Kristi, go to Hollywood, find out whoever Jenny McCarthy got to do her plastic surgery, because that girl was hot. She got plastic surgery and got hotter. Like, how does that happen? Literally, that is the person everybody should be heading to. Okay? Literally. I head into that person, he goes, hey, don't worry about it. The trash is out and back. You're the janitor, right? I'm like, no, I need cosmetic surgery. He's like, no, dude, no. No, there's not enough money in Saudi Arabia to help you. Next. She had Secret Service there. Now, how does the guy get the bag when Secret Service is there? Like I said on the short, maybe they were in the bar doing, shots. One for me and one for the dog she killed. One for me and one for Lassie. One for me and old Max. Hello? I'll tell you this, and I know it's not politically correct, but I could really care less. I hope whoever stole it, I hope they donate it to the ASPCA. Okay? I'm going to show you this. This is John. I carry money too. Look at that. Ooh. Oh, look at that. Look at that. This is as close as I'm coming to $3,000. Effing Monopoly. Christ's sake. Who carries $3,000? You never heard of Apple Pay? Hello? Really? Anybody who carries that kind of cash? Get them out of government. All right. Let's talk about our favorite bozo in government. That's Elon Musk. Oh, God. Seems like the Washington Post is reporting that Elon is getting hurt feelings. Cry emoji. Cry emoji. Seems like he's angry about how he's being betrayed by the left. Gee, I wonder how that is. Wonder why that is. He's just trying to help. That little boy band Nazi man. He feels like he is a martyr. He is leaving the government. Of course, they're not officially saying it, right? They're going to do you can only stay for 100 days without a security clearance or whatever BS it is, right? Doesn't seem like they abide by the rules for Abrego Garcia. All right. But now we're going to do it. Okay. We're going to push Elon out the door. Okay. That's what it is. Kumbaya. But he isn't very happy. He's very sad. We saw him on the Fox interview a couple weeks ago with Bret Baier, where he was crying about how people were taking pleasure in his stock going down. And how could they be so inhuman? Yeah. I know when you're only worth 300 billion and you go down to 200 billion, man, there's some cruel mother effers out there. Of course, this is the same gentleman who took glee in the first month of the Trump administration, cutting thousands of federal jobs and saying they just had to be eliminated because they were wasteful. Of course, we had no justification. We had no studies. We don't know. But he did it with glee. He was also the guy who pushed back on Tim Walz when he went on stage at a rally and said, hey, so far in the last 4 months, Tesla stocks went down 50%. Yeah, right on. Kumbaya. This is the same guy who said Senator Mark Kelly from Arizona, astronaut, war hero, was a traitor. Yeah. Okay. So we got that going on, right? Yeah. Now, the White House in this story in the Washington Post is pushing back a little. They say, from anonymous sources, of course, no one could say Doge has not achieved a historic amount of success, the insider said, conveniently ignoring the fact that Musk retreated from his promise of saving $2 trillion and to a borderline 50 to 60 million. Now, at the end of the day, we don't know if he saved that money. It is not savings when you forget, when you say you're not going to pay. And I have told you this. 4 years I'm running for president. I've already got my VP candidate. Okay? Smart. This lady is smart. Okay? Crystal. She's out there. She's figuring stuff out. I'm going to take all the credit. Okay? She's going to be the brains behind the operation. I'm going to be the figurehead. Maybe I'll live 8 years, and then she could take over after that. God bless her. Right? Hello? So, we have a situation. I don't even know how I got there. So, people in the administration are already peeling off from Musk. Right? Who are you talking about? Nobody's saying a word. Well, seems like Jared Isaacman, the billionaire who donated heavily to Trump, and now he is going to be the head of NASA. What's your qualification, sir? Well, I flew in a plane once. All right. Our standards are as rigorous as ever, right? In his confirmation hearing on April 9th, he was asked about his relationship with Elon Musk, who once put him in space. Of course, Elon's never actually come back from space. He told the committee, I want to absolutely be clear. My loyalty is to this nation, the space agency, and their world-changing mission. They're the contractors. He's talking about X. NASA is the customer. They work for us, not the other way around. Ho, 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 ho! That didn't go over very well, right? Kumbaya, mother effer. Kumbaya. All right. That's it for our show today. Appreciate it. I know I got another story there somewhere. It seems like I'm missing it. Oh, well. You know what? You're just going to have to come back tomorrow for a little more magic. All right. I appreciate you being here. I love you all. We're going to get through this together because we're on the side of right. Keep believing. We're having rallies every weekend. You know, there was, I think, 900 rallies last weekend. It was amazing, you know, and I didn't actually go to the one in Claremont, California. That's my usual home base to go for the rallies. It's a college town. It's very liberal. I love it. I love being there and just doing videos, but I really just love talking to the people. They're so passionate. And obviously people listening to this podcast, I appreciate it. And even if you're a Republican, I know you're a good person. I'm not going to be that person. Like I've said, and I've said it a million times, most of my friends are Republicans. Most of the people in my inner circle are Republicans, and they are good people. I just think they're looking at it in the wrong prism, as it is, right? All right, if you could, hit that like and subscribe, leave some comments, and I will see you tomorrow.